Hi, good afternoon, everyone. We will start the webinar shortly. All right, let's wait for the rest to join up. Thank you. Okay, very good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ying Jie. Okay, welcome to the webinar for Hong Kong Market DLC. Okay, we have a guest speaker, Marcus, our issuer for the daily leverage certificates, and today he will share with us on how we can take advantage of the Hong Kong equities. Okay, through this DLC. Okay, then Marcus is from SocGen. Okay, then he will share with us basically on how the daily leverage certificate is going to work, okay, and also for Hong Kong equities. Following that, I will go through some TA, okay, technical analysis on the underlying stocks for the Hong Kong equities. Then we will end off with some Q&As, and yeah, basically that's the flow for this webinar. All right. So Marcus.
Okay, hi everyone. I think today will be a short session, just a 1 hour lunchtime talk. Trying to keep it casual, chit chat. So we want to just give you guys an introduction to the daily leverage certificates, which is listed on SGX. Society General, we are the product issuer of this daily leverage certificates, and I am in charge of this product. So actually any questions, etc., you can always give our DLC hotline a call. I'll be the one to pick up and we can discuss further about the DLCs. But in the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes, let me just give a very quick introduction of the DLCs. And then after that, we'll jump into the more exciting part, I guess, is on Ying Jie's sort of technical analysis on some of these Hang Seng indices, as well as the Hong Kong big name Hong Kong stocks, right? So let me just quickly share my screen over here. Okay, all right. So the daily leverage certificates, you can see over here. Okay, it stands for daily leverage certificate, the DLC. So we call them DLC for short. All right, it was listed on launched on SGX in 2017. So it has been almost 5 years now. We are going 5 years strong into this product that is launched on SGX. We are the first issuer to launch these DLCs here in Asia and here on SGX. Okay, so these DLCs are traded on SGX like a stock, for example. So you can access it through your POEMS account. You put in the DLC stock code, CZAW or CZBW, which is the stock codes. You can retrieve these DLCs on your POEMS stock trading account. You don't have to open any separate account. You can trade it on your Cash Plus account. You can trade it on your margin account. So you can find these DLCs in your stock brokerage account with POEMS, right? No need to create any new account. It is not a margin product, so you trade it like a stock. You can buy it, you can go control on it if you want, or you can also buy it using whatever that cash that you have in your account, and you buy the DLCs, right? And for us, SocGen, we are the issuer and also the designated market maker. So we will provide liquidity throughout the trading day. You will be able to buy and sell the DLCs during the SGX market hours for the Singapore underlying DLCs. For the Hong Kong underlying DLCs, we will make markets when the Hong Kong exchange is open. So Hong Kong market is open from 9:30 to 4 p.m. only. All right. So we will provide liquidity throughout the whole day for you to buy and sell the DLCs. So rest assured that you will not be stuck over there, even though some of the DLCs might not be actively traded. Some might be only might not have a few very small traded value only or volume. It doesn't mean that you cannot buy and sell the DLCs easily, because you must look at the bid and offer codes as well. That's where we'll be providing liquidity throughout the day for you to trade, even though it is not an actively traded counter for some of them. Okay, so the DLCs, what are the DLCs, right? So the DLCs, you can see from the name itself, daily leverage certificate. So very big word there, leverage. It is a leverage trading product. for your short-term trading needs. Okay, if you have a short-term view of the market, you can use the DLCs to express your view, and the DLCs also allow you to go long or go short. So there's a flexibility for you to capitalize on both a bull market as well as a bear market or any short-term corrections. If you have a long-term investment portfolio and you want to hedge some of your DLC, your portfolio, you can utilize some of the daily short DLCs as well. And we offer 5 times and 7 times leverage on the index DLCs, so your MSCI Singapore DLCs or your Hang Seng Index DLCs. We have 5 times and 7 times leverage, all right, for both long and short side. But for the stock DLCs for Singapore stocks and the Hong Kong single stocks, you can only use the 5 times. We only have the 5 times leverage for you to use because the stocks are quite volatile already. So I think 5 times should suffice. Right. So these DLCs, they are linked to an underlying asset. As I mentioned, there is index underlying assets as well as stock underlying assets. So these are some of the names that we have. We have a wide range of offering. We have over 200 DLCs listed already since, going 5 years into the launch of these DLCs. We have expanded from indices to single stocks, from Singapore to Hong Kong market. And recently we just launched DLCs on the US indices as well, starting with the S&P 500 index. So this allows you to trade the S&P 500 index during Asian hours, during Singapore trading hours, even though the US market is closed. On the Hong Kong market side, we have a lot of stocks to choose from. We have the key Hang Seng indices, Hang Seng Index, Hang Seng China Enterprises Index, as well as the Hang Seng Tech Index. On the stock front, you have all the big cap names. We have DLCs, 5 times long and short DLCs on Tencent, Alibaba, Meituan, Geely, BYD, etc. And on the Singapore side, we have on the MSCI Singapore Index, as well as on most of the blue chip names that you can think of: DBS, the Singapore banks, Roma, CapitaLand, ThaiBev, Genting, etc. So we have a wide range of offering for you to choose from, and from that list later on, on Hong Kong shelf, Ying Jie will go through some of them to see how are they from a technical analysis perspective. Where are the stock price performance now, and how can you take advantage of any short-term movements as well. Okay, so this is the US indices one. So as I mentioned, you can trade the US, the S&P 500 index DLCs. These are the stock codes CYAW and CZEW for the long and short. And then you can also trade it. You can trade it during the Singapore trading hours. So they are listed on SGX, and you can trade it in Singapore dollars. All right. So during the Asian hours, the US market is closed, right? So what do these DLCs track? They will track the S&P 500 index E-mini futures. So instead of having to worry about futures row or the contract size for the E-mini futures or trading on CME, for example, you can use the S&P 500 DLCs which is traded on SGX through your regular stock brokerage account, and that way you can gain exposure to the S&P 500 index during Asian hours, maybe even positioning yourself for the US market at night. Okay, but these are only traded during the Asian hours, Singapore trading hours, SGX trading hours. So you have to have a bit of, I would say, you might have to hold it overnight if you want a longer term exposure. And overnight, you will be exposed to the US market movements, and while not being able to trade the DLCs because the SGX market is closed. All right. So you can either intraday trade it during Asian hours, or you can hold it for a few days, etc. But please note that you'll be exposed to the overnight US market exposure as well. Okay. And I think this DLC promotion is with Phillip. We are celebrating our 5th anniversary of the DLCs, and you can get $200 cash credit if you are new to the DLCs. You can scan the QR code here to be able to see what the promotion details are. Otherwise, I think Ying Jie will also might go through a bit on this later on. Okay, and so just to elaborate a bit more on how the DLCs provide leverage. So the DLCs, how do they provide that 5 times or 7 times leverage, right? It is on a close-to-close basis, right? So it depends on the daily performance of the underlying asset, times by the leverage factor. That will give you the daily performance of the DLC. So in this very simple example here, for example, if DBS is up by 2% on day 2 from day 1 on a close-to-close basis, it rose from $25 to $25.50. Then you can see that the DBS long DLC will be up by times 5, 10%, right? So times 5 of 2% is 10%. The DBS long DLC will be up by 10%, while the DBS short DLC will be down by 10%. And vice versa, If DBS is instead down by 2% from yesterday's close, then the long DLC will be down by 10%, and then the DBS 5 times short DLC will gain by 10%. All right. So the principle is quite simple. Every 1% move in the underlying stock will generate a 5% times 5% move on the DLC if it's a 5 times DLC, or a 7% move if it's a 7 times DLC. All right. And just to note, you should always buy the long DLC if you are bullish on the underlying stock movement, and you should always buy the short DLC if you are bearish on the underlying stock movement. Okay, please do not go and short sell any of the instruments. Don't go and short the long DLC or short the short DLC, because then you end up in buying market and then we come and rescue you per se. So you should always buy. Okay, you either buy a long DLC if you are bullish on the underlying stock, or you buy a short DLC if you are bearish on the underlying stock, right? So how to identify whether a DLC is long or short DLC, right? You can see in the trading name itself. This is an example of Tencent. So DIHW is the stock code, and then Tencent 5 times long. SG stands for SocGen, and then the expiry date in year month daily format in 23/12/14. All right, so you can use the name Tencent 5 times long to identify, okay, this is a 5 times leverage instrument tracking Tencent, and it's a long DLC, which means that it will gain in value when Tencent goes up. Okay, when Tencent stock price goes up. Okay, if it's a short, you will see that 5 times short over there in the name, and that would gain in value when the underlying stock falls, stock price falls. Okay, and then you can see over here as well, there is where the 5 times performance is. All right, so Tencent on this particular day, for example, was up by 1.54%, right? And then this Tencent long DLC is up by close to 10%. Okay, from its previous intrinsic close value. Okay, so you can refer to our website dlc.socgen.com to see this page, and then you can see what is the last intrinsic close value of the DLC, as well as the underlying stock performance, and as well as the DLC stock performance over there. Okay, so this is where the 5 times performance is. All right, and another example here for the Tencent short DLC, Tencent is up by 1.6%, right? So the short DLC is down by close to 5%. Okay, so that's where the 5 times performance is on a close to close basis. So how do you use the DLCs? You know, there's day trading, there's swing trading, and there's hedging. Okay, primarily it's all short-term trading. These DLCs are not meant to be bought and hold and held for a long period of time. Okay, because the compounding effect as well as the holding costs, overnight holding costs, will erode your returns over time. So we do see traders or see people trading this on an intraday basis. Some of the Hong Kong DLCs are so volatile that yes, it's very, very viable to trade it on an intraday basis. Tencent, or even in these days, Alibaba or Meituan can move like 5% a day. Times 5 of that, it is 25% movement already. So 25%, I think, is very, very wide range for intraday trading. And also you can use it for swing trading, where we see some of the traders instead holding it for a day, a few days, or maybe even up to a week or 2 weeks for a swing trade that they can use. But definitely we do not recommend that people hold it for months at end, because this is really not a buy and hold product. It is a short-term trading instrument. Okay, and for those, we see some of the sort of investors also using it for their hedging needs. Say you have a big bag of portfolio of Tencent stock that you want to hold for long term because you believe in Tencent. But then you see that there's some short-term correction on the Tencent stock because of maybe China government policies, etc. That could have some short-term volatility in the market, and you want to hedge your position with the you can hedge your position, your portfolio with the Tencent short DLCs, which will gain in value if Tencent stock price corrects. Okay, so this is an example here. Day trading, one of the days, 25th June 2021, Meituan rose by 2%. In the short period of 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And there you can see the DZHW, the Meituan 5 times long DLC, rose by times 5 of that, 14.5% in the same period as well. Okay, so the Meituan long is priced at around 55 cents in the morning. The an investor can buy it at 55 cents, and then it will rise up to 65 cents by the time at 11:30 at 11:30. 62 or 63 cents at 11:30, and then that will represent a 14.5% gain, which is 5 times of that of what Meituan rose during the same period of time. Okay, this is an intraday period. And swing trading, you know, on the Singapore stock, sometimes it's better for swing trading because the movement is not so extreme. So this example here, DDWW is the 5 times long UOB DLC. And then UOB was up 9% between 25th April to 30th April. Times 5 of that, close around 45%. The DDWW 5 times long UOB DLC was up by 48% in the same period. All right. And hedging, you know, like I said just now, Tencent, you know, if you think that Tencent is going down, between the July period last year, Tencent was down 24%, whereas the 5 times short Tencent DLC DMIW was up by 209% within that month. Okay, this is quite a long holding period, almost a month. This is just an example, but please make sure that you do not hold the DLCs for too long. And you should also have some conviction of the trend when you trade it. If you see it in a sideways market, maybe it's best not to trade the DLCs. Okay, and you can see our website here, dlc.socgen.com, for more information. You can learn more about the product features, the risks as well. And I think I encourage you to really just go through that this website to see what are the information that is available on the product terms, as well as the education section at the top there. Have a look at it. And if you don't understand anything, please feel free to just give us a call on our hotline. Our number is at the right-hand corner of the website, 626-2828. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, my colleagues and I. So any questions you have or any feedback you have on the DLCs, please just drop us a call. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, and from the website itself, you can go to the search page and search for the underlying that you want, the type that you want, and the leverage factor that you want. We'll be looking at some of this later when we go through the technical analysis, just to be able to identify which are the DLCs that you can use for each of the underlying stocks. You can use the price matrix as well to identify, how will the DLC move in line with the underlying stock or index movement. So if the underlying index or underlying stock goes to this level, what price will the DLC be at? And then, you can set your buy or sell orders over there as well on an intraday basis. Okay, and there are many more other things on our website that you can look at. The charts which will show you as well some insights in terms of fund flows. I think when we saw the COVID relaxation measures last week, we saw quite a lot of people buying in terms of funds flowing into the 5 times long DLCs on the Genting DLCs, the 5 times Comfort Delgo DLCs, and the 5 times long SIA DLCs. So we saw quite a lot of flows coming in, and that is something that we will also publish on our website, which you can use to see, who's buying what. Are they buying the long DLC on this particular underlying, or are they buying the short DLCs on this particular underlying? So you can use some of these insights to help you to, gain some edge in the market as well. So do explore our website to see what other tools that you can use. All right. I think that's all for me to give a quick introduction. I am mindful that we have not much time, so we should move on straight into the technical analysis with Ying Jie. All right, but any questions you might have on the DLCs, please do not hesitate to put them in the chat. We'll answer the questions at the end, any Q&As, but also if you want to have a one-to-one discussion, more than happy to discuss further. You can give us a call on our DLC hotline that is found on the top right-hand corner of our website. All right, Ying Jie, over to you.
All right, thank you, Marcus. Thank you for the awesome sharing. Okay, I hope everyone learned as much as I did. Okay, I'm Ying Jie here. Okay, so now I will be going through the technical analysis for the underlying stocks on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Okay, so feel free to put the counters that you like to see in the Q&A, then I will go through it. Okay, but first, let me share with you my screen on a few things. Hang on. Okay, all right, so the website that like Marcus has shared earlier, dlc.socgen.com. Okay, fantastic website. Later you can just go to products under DLC, Daily Leverage Certificates, under search. There should be a listing of all the underlyings that you might be interested to look at. Okay, so to begin with, right, the chart that I'll be using on will be also on SocGen, dlc.socgen.com. Okay, so this is the chart they have on their web. Okay, so let me just start with the technical analysis for Hang Seng Index. Okay, I'll be going through all the underlying stocks itself. Okay, not the DLC. Okay, so for Hang Seng, okay, I mean, as you know, right, they have been on downtrend for quite a while now. Okay, they managed to tap off a demand level at 1800. Okay, which is hang on, let me. Okay, okay, I'm not sure if you can see it from this chart, but yeah, I mean they did tap off 1800 demand level. Okay, last week or 2 weeks back. Okay, so as of now, even though price is quite optimistic, they did a bullish movement, rebounds off this 1800, currently holding above a 21,000. Okay, this area. However, just take note, because currently price itself, right, they are trying to hang on to a demand level, okay, a fresh demand level that they formed after the rebound of 18,000. Okay, but however, because of the downtrend, right, you take a look. Okay, previously, before the movement of this 1800 that is tapped, okay, the structure wise itself is bearish. Okay, the previous area where they tried to hold above was at 23,000. After that, they subsequently just break through, slam all the way down, form a bearish market structure. So as of now, price itself is currently hovering around 21,000 towards a 22,500. Okay, so to be very frank, I mean, okay, the only positive is that, okay, there's the optimism, right, is that there's the bullishness coming in from the rebound of 18,000, all right, and currently holding above 21,000. Okay, however, structure wise, trend wise, they are still bearish. Okay, it's still downtrend. So as of now, price probably is going to be ranging around this 21,000. Okay, this demand level that they formed, 21,000 towards a 22,500, 23,000. Okay, so this is at least for Hang Seng, unless they can hold back to the previous range, the major range that they broke away. It's still on a downtrend. Okay, it's still bearish for now. Okay, so this is on Hang Seng Index. Okay, next one, I will go into another index.
Ying Jie,
Oh yes,
maybe you
Marcus.
can just very quickly. So if you go down to the chart, you can see these are the DLCs that are available that you can choose from. There's 5 times, there's 7 times leverage, and a different price range as well. Okay, so you know you want to choose a DLC that is probably around like the above 20 cents level to up to $2. Please don't choose those that are maybe those very low value ones like 0.005, 0.006. Those are not sensitive to the underlying stock. You can see the sensitivity over there. So the sensitivity on the right hand most corner, that is the number of index point move for the DLC to move 1 tick. All right, so the lower the better. Okay, so if you are, for example, you want to do more conservative, you want to do a 5 times leverage on Hang Seng Index. You can choose the CWAW over there. That's the long DLC, and then there is a every 25 point move in the Hang Seng Index. This Hang Seng long DLC CWAW will move by 1 tick. Okay, and then CXQW, the 5 times short DLC, the price is around 14 cents. All right, it will move every 30 point Hang Seng Index move will generate 1 tick movement in the Hang Seng short DLC. So you can use these 2 instruments, long and short, to express your view. If you think that is 21, it's going to hold, you can use the long DLC to ride it up all the way up to 23,000 level. If you see that 21,000 is going to break, then you can use the short DLC CXQW. You can buy it at 14.3 cents, and then ride it down all the way back to 18,000 if you want. Okay, so this is how you roughly look at the DLCs. You choose your leverage, you choose the long or the short, you look at the sensitivity, making sure that it is sensitive enough. 20 point move for 1 tick is good. Okay, and then we try to put in a star there for some of the most sensitive ones, so you can also refer to the star to choose your preferred DLCs. All right, so today I think most people are trading the long 7 times and the long 5 times DLCs, 2.1 million and 1.7 million. So yeah, you can just have a look at the these DLCs. You can also use a search page to search for it, which you can go on later on and see how it is, to see more variables, see more terms of the DLCs. Okay, sorry, Ying Jie, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. Wow, this is okay. I didn't realize this page over here, but wow, okay, thanks for the info. All right, yeah. So like Marcus has mentioned, okay, just take note of the sensitivity, also the price itself when you are trading the DLCs. All right. Okay, next one, I'll be going into S&P 500. Okay, S&P 500. Okay, they bounce off a demand level, okay, at 4,100, okay, probably like a month ago, okay. So now they already ran off from a minor supply level, okay. So now they are trying to hit back into a major range that they used, that they created previously before the down move. All right. So this was the range area that they've created previously. Okay. Price is currently trading at 4,573. Okay. They are trying to break away from a minor supply level. Okay. So, oh, sorry. Let me draw it again. Yeah, okay, you have a supply level at 4,600. Okay. For S&P itself, right, bullish momentum coming in. It has been running for probably like 3 weeks now. Okay, after the FOMC itself, US equities, US indexes have been very bullish. Okay, but just take note lah, because the bullishness, like I explained for Hang Seng itself, right, structure wise itself is still bearish. Okay, from this down move itself, when they tap into 4,100, is change the structure to the bearish side. Okay, recent bull movements, however, have not changed the trend yet. Okay, they did make series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, however, the key delicate level that they are looking to break away now is at 4,600 level. Okay, breaking of this level means that they are holding back into the previous range area. Okay, that might see S&P 500 ranging towards the 4,800 again. Okay, however, if any rejection is shown at 4,500, 600 level, we will see it trending down towards the 4,400, 4,500 range. Okay, so S&P wise, recent weeks very strong. Okay, but just take note, the movement itself, for now, as of now, the up move itself is still not showing any form of much rejection. Okay, so we have to see, once it start forming a minor range, the move should be able to sustain itself back above 4,600. All right, so let's see the DLCs. Okay, so yeah, DLCs, there's a few. So yeah, you can take a look at all this. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now okay, I'm done with the indexes. Okay, so now let's take a look at some underlying stocks on the Hong Kong market, stock market. Okay, the first one, let's take a look at the big ones. Okay, Alibaba. Okay, Baba. Okay, Baba. Okay, recent weeks, okay, maybe 2 weeks, is trying to really start trending higher. Okay, from its the low of probably like 70, 71, $72. Okay, they formed a range previously, okay, before the down move. Structure wise, yeah, downtrend for a very long time, Baba. But however, I think fundamentally Baba itself is strong. Okay, we're just waiting for like price to actually trend towards the uptrend lah. Basically to start the uptrend. Okay, but as of now, rejection of 72, 73 area. Okay, now bullish back into the previous demand that they broke away. Okay, price, however, just managed to rebound off. Okay, they managed to hold on to 104 area. Okay, what can we be expecting now, right, is Baba itself, because they came off a very huge range towards the lower low. Okay, now they are trying to hang back up. As long as they can break above 120 level. Okay, I see it. I see Baba. Hang on. Okay. Okay, as long as they can hold above this area, right, 120 level. Okay, Baba should be trending towards the higher end of this range itself, which is up towards 135, 134. Okay, but just take note, any rejection of 120 again, Baba should be trending back towards 100, 105 area. Okay, structure wise is still bearish, so really you have to go very thin on your positions for this as well. But a good thing is lower low, they managed to bounce off very strongly. Okay, so now as long as they can break this previous range before the down move, I think Baba itself we should be looking at more upside of it. Okay, so
they'll close the gap.
yeah,
close the gap.
yeah. I mean, for this gap itself, right? Okay, this gap, okay, this gap itself, yes, but I think you have to really price have to really hold above this 140 first. 140, this gap should be filled quite easily. Yeah, with the momentum coming from the lower low itself, pushing price out higher. And once they can break this previous range area, I think this gap, yeah, once 140 can hold, then yeah, this gap will be filled already. All right.
Let's hope that China walks the talk lah. Let's hope they say that they will.
Yeah, they want to support
they support the market. They want to pledge to support the market. Let's hope they actually walk the talk and not just say only. So hopefully that will help to push prices up.
Correct. So Hong Kong market has been moving very strongly like the past 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks. Yeah. So I mean, we will have to wait and see what's going to happen. How long how long they can sustain this support coming in, right? But optimism is there definitely. Bullishness is showing again. Okay, so that's something good at least for the Hong Kong side.
Yeah. Okay, so on the DLCs, I have to mention something. So is okay, we all know like 2 weeks ago, right? There was a huge move on the Hong Kong market when the China sort of pledged to support the market. You know, it was a day where the Hang Seng Index moved 9-10% up. It gained 9-10% up, and that was not seen. That last time that Hang Seng Index moved 9 to 10% intraday, right, was in the 2008 global financial crisis. Okay, so that shows how much of a sort of black swan event or that happened, 2 weeks ago when the Hang Seng and the China market pledged to support the markets. Okay, so the index moved like 9 to 10%, and all the quite a few of the Hong Kong stocks all moved like 20-30%. Okay, so the sad part is, I mean, the good thing is that the long DLCs were all moving like 150% up, because times 5 of 20% is 100 to 150% up. But the short DLCs, because 5 times of 20% is 100% loss, right? So the short DLCs were knocked out. Okay, the short DLCs were all knocked out. So we are looking to refresh the shelf with new 5 times short Alibaba DLCs that will come out next week, 4th of April. So please bear with us while we try to restock the shelf of DLCs, given the very volatile move in the Hong Kong market the last 2 weeks. So you should see the new 5 times short Alibaba DLCs come out on the 4th of April. Okay, but the long DLCs are still trading. You can see over here DVIW. That's the 5 times long Alibaba DLC. So this one is a sensitive DLC. 20 cents, 19 cents move in the Hong Kong, 19 cents move in the Alibaba stock will generate a 1 tick move in the DLC. Okay, so you can see over here, the price is around 12.6 cents to 12.8 cents. Okay, so we are at 1 tick spread, which is very tight. So you can use this Alibaba DVIW long DLC if you are bullish on the Alibaba stock in the short term. Okay.
Okay, now, okay, I see on the Q&A, right, there's someone asking for Xiaomi. Okay, let me just go into Xiaomi first. Okay. Oh, Xiaomi, what happened today? Okay, let's take a look.
I thought they reported good results last week.
Yeah, what? Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Okay, Xiaomi. Yeah, same thing lah. I mean, all the Hong Kong equities, right, it's all downtrend for quite a while now. Okay, so the uptrend itself, as you can see for Xiaomi itself, it's not sustaining itself. Okay, they tried holding back above 15 point, not even 15.6. Okay, it's around $15. Failed to hold. completely just came back down to the fresh demand that they tried to form. Today's candle, very bearish. Okay, lower low across last week already. Okay, gap filled, lower low. So for Xiaomi itself, right, I see it. I mean, as long as they cannot hold this $13, right, it should be heading even lower lah. Okay, but let me see. Let me see if I can get anything else from the lower end. Okay, from what I'm looking at, right, the lower end, okay, already formed like January 2020. Okay, they had a previous rally base, sorry, drop base rally, the previous area. The next demand level, which I can see, is probably around like 10.3 towards a 10.55 level. Okay, so with this level, right, with Xiaomi, if Xiaomi were to continue breaking away from 13, okay, $12, I'm not sure whether they can hold, okay, because the price itself is not sustaining the movement upwards, okay, and also the structure itself is already bearish, downtrend all the way. So breaking of this 13, and also if subsequently they continue to break below 11.4, right, downtrend is the continuation of downtrend is still there, okay, another new lower low is formed. Better to really look at 10.5, 10.3 to 10.5 level. Okay. However, if price is to able, I mean, if price is able to hold above 13.4, okay, which I mean, as of today, I mean, it's very bearish lah. Okay, so really have to see how this week candle is going to close. If they can close bullish back up above 14.2, 14.3, yeah, I think they will try targeting another 15.7. Okay, they will attempt to break towards the higher end. Otherwise, market structure bearish. Yeah, it's still bearish lah, basically. Okay, the downside is more, the probability for the downside is higher. All right, for now. Okay, okay, let's take a look at the next one. Okay, let me see whether, okay, Gili, okay, Gili Auto. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, price is at a delicate level now. Okay, is trying to break away from 12.1, trying to break away from 12.6 lah, basically. Okay, on the out move itself, they did form a small demand area. Okay, price probably is going to range. Okay, for now, they're probably going to range at this $10.4, $11 towards a 12.2, 12.5. Okay, looking at it, comparing to other Hong Kong equities itself, right? The rejection of this level at $10 that week, the bullish movement itself coming in is not that strong. Okay, considering I mean, if you are comparing to other equities on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, so the move itself might be muted in a way. Okay, so any out move breaking away from 12.5, right, will be good. Okay, definitely. But however, trend itself, yes, still downtrend, still bearish momentum. Okay, so for the uptrend, I mean, for even a minor uptrend to even start moving, right, it's best to wait for $15 to be broken. Okay, otherwise, price probably is going to trend between 10 to 11 towards 12.2, 12.5 level, which is the current level, the delicate level. Still trying to break away from it. Any failure will see it coming back to $10 and $11. All right, the DLC itself. Yeah, Marcus, yes.
Maybe you can actually just introduce everyone to the price matrix. So for example, okay, if you are long on the DLC, so you go down. I mean, you look at the DLC, click on the DLC, DNDW, for example. Yeah, the star one. So you look at the star one, look at long, then you click on the price matrix at the top. At the top, yeah, price matrix. Yeah, so this is how it is done. So today the Gili long is up by 18.2% because the underlying is up by, how much is it? Gili is up by 3% today, right? 3.3%. So times 5 of that is around 16 to 18%. Okay, so that's why it's up by 18% today. And then you can see over here, yesterday the Gili closed at 0.055, right? In the orange bar you see over there. So yesterday it closed at 0.055 when Gili closed at 11.6 yesterday. So today you can see that, you know, now the Gili is at what level? Gili is at almost close to 12 lah, right? Almost close to 12. See, Gili is at $12 level. So you can see in the table below, Gili is at $12 level, which translates into the DLC being at 0.064 lah. So it's around there. Our SocGen bid, you can see over there is 0.064. So that is how you can use the price matrix to see, you know, where will the DLC price be at for the movement in the underlying stock. So if instead today Xiaomi Gili would have dropped to say $10 level, maybe can go down further, drop down to 1060 for example, that represents a 8% down decline in Gili. Then the DLC will be quoting at 0.031, which represents a minus 43% loss lah. Okay, so you can use this price matrix to see roughly, you know, how will it move with the underlying stock. But generally, principally is every 1% move in the underlying stock will generate a 5% move in the DLC. Okay, so you can use this price matrix to help you to see where it is. If you buy it now, then you can also, if it goes up to the $15 level, but it's quite far away, then you can see where it is. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Marcus. Wow.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks.
Okay, this price matrix is very
it's useful.
It's very useful for referencing.
Yeah, every single DLC will have a price matrix, so you can also look at the short DLC to look at what's the price matrix for that particular DLC as well.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you can go back to the chart page. Yeah, you can go to under products, then underlying chart. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Marcus, I will do one more chart. Okay, then I think there's some Q&As inside asking for DLC price drop to 0.
Okay.
And so yeah. Okay, I will leave it to you for that. Let me see. King.
1 to 10 Oh, King Soft.
King Soft have or not?
Got lah, but I don't know whether the DLCs have been are still okay or not.
Yeah.
Because of the move last week.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
Can lah, you can trade.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at King Soft. Okay. King Soft. Yeah, same thing. I mean, all the pictures should probably look around the same. Okay. Rebounded off a certain demand level. Okay. Currently King Soft. Okay. They have a demand area. Okay. Currently price is trading at a very delicate level again. Okay. Trying to hang on to this 24.5 level. Okay. I don't see it. I mean, to be very honest, okay. I don't see any issue of it coming back to a 28. Okay, as long as price is able to break a higher high of this 26.5. Okay, as long as this level can hold, coming back to this 28 shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so what we should be expecting King Soft to be in the movement itself, holding 25 back to 28, then they will start the range at this level again. Okay, anything higher, I think it's quite tough. Okay, wait, let me check a bit. Okay, see the previous area, huge range which they broke away. Okay, the bottom area, the previous support area, demand area was at 28 area. Okay, so when they broke away from it, price dipped lower. Okay, so if they were to start a trend, a range over here, right? $28 rejection probably will be seen. Okay, so it's going to be 25 towards the $28 at least for King Soft at this moment. All right, yeah. So just take note because it's still on a downtrend, bearish momentum. The structure itself is still bearish. Okay, anything below 23.35, we might be seeing it coming back towards a $20. Okay.
That's a 12% move, right? 3 divided by 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 12% move range.
Correct.
So 12% move is actually quite decent. But then if you use the DLCs, then potentially that range could be 5 times 12. That could be a 60% move that you could use for a short-term trade. So in a sense, that's what is the beauty of the DLCs is. You know, you use a low capital, but then you're able to gain the enhanced exposure. If the stock moves by 12%, you can potentially make 5 times of that, 60% sort of return. But of course, you know, if you get it wrong, then you better make sure you have a cut loss at around the 24 or 23 level, right?
Yes.
To minimize your
Yeah,
losses.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once you're on leverage, it's better to watch the risk side of it as well. Yeah,
To
I
always
think
have
that's more important.
that cut loss level. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so okay, with that, right, I think Q&A, there's some other questions. Marcus, like okay, you are on the
Okay.
Q&A, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can see it.
Pass it
So
back
I
to
can
you.
answer some of the questions.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So what if the DLC price drops to 0? Can we continue to hold until the price goes up? No. So in a sense, similar to other leverage products out there, you know, if you are 5 times leverage instrument and the underlying stock drops by 20%, that is 100% loss, and the DLC will also be at 0 value. In that case, right, the product will be considered knocked out, similar to any other leverage product out there. So it will not go back up again. Okay, so but then you will lose 100% of the value of your DLC if the price moves by 20% times 5 leverage 100%. But that's also your maximum loss. You will be capped at that amount. You put in $2,000 to buy this DLC. This $2,000 is your maximum loss. Okay, you will not lose more than that $2,000. If the DLC price will never go negative or anything, you'll just go to 0, and then your DLC, your investment sum will be total loss. But you will never lose more than you've sort of put into the DLCs. If you bought $2,000 worth of DLCs, that's the maximum loss that you can sustain. Okay, you will never you will never have a margin call, or you will never be asked to top up like some of the leverage products out there, because this product is not margin. Okay, your maximum loss is $2,000, even if the stock moves by 40-50% against you. Okay, that's clear, right? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I can understand, but yeah, but I think you explained very well.
I hope that's clear. Yeah, so it's traded on SGX securities market. You trade through a regular stock brokerage account, so there is no margining per se. It's not like a CFD or futures. So you can never lose more than you've invested. Everything that you put in $2,000, that's your maximum loss already. Okay, you will never be asked to top up or etc. You have the price moves adversely against you. Okay, but if the underlying stock moves 20%, then yes, you know, times 500% loss that is expected of a leverage instrument. Okay, that's another question. You show us the price matrix. You show us the price matrix. What if the market maker do not want to sell or buy due to high volatility? Okay, so I think this one, in the case of high volatile situations, last year when COVID happened, there was quite a lot of volatility in the market. But for SocGen, we still maintained our quotation there in the market. But we seek your understanding that in sometimes when it's very highly volatile markets, the spread could widen. Okay, so it might not be 1 tick anymore. It could be up to, maybe it can go up to 3 ticks or 4 ticks because of the very volatile market conditions. But so if you are in a rush to get out, then we seek understanding that the spread might be wider. But otherwise, allow us some time to stabilize our trading system. Especially when it's very, very sudden kind of like volatile conditions, allow us some time to stabilize the trading system, and then we should get back to tight spreads again during when it cools down a bit. Okay, but we are obligated by the exchange as the designated market maker to provide continuous bid and offer quotes on the DLCs. So there will always be buy and sell quotes from us during SGX trading hours or the respective underlying exchange hours, such as the Hong Kong market hours. Okay. Apart from the selection criteria, what is the recommended minimum expiry date when selecting a DLC? So DLCs, we have 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year expiries. We do have different DLCs having different kind of expiries, but it's all around 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. Okay, and it's in the name itself. Yeah, I see over here, the expiry date is 8th September 2022. Okay. You shouldn't worry too much about the expiry, because the 5 times performance of the DLC is on a coast to coast basis. Every day you're given that 5 times performance all the way up to the valuation date, which is just 1 day before the expiry date. And then on valuation date, if the DLC is worth 0.027, so today, for example, today is the valuation date of this Kingsoft DLC DMDW, and tomorrow is the expiry date. Today, at the end, if the DLC closes at 0.027, then the cash settlement amount will be 0.027, and then after expiry, tomorrow the DLC will be paid out. The cash settlement amount will be paid out to investors via CDP with this value 0.027 times the number of units that you're holding. So every day it just gives you that 5 times movement all the way up to valuation date 1 day before the expiry. So it's not like say some of the options or structured warrants where the expiry date is very important because there's time decay and there's the optionality impact as well. So whether it's a long dated option or whether it's a short dated option or warrant, it does affect the price performance. Whereas this one, there is no time decay and there is no optionality impact. Just simply every day you get that 5 times movement, 5 times performance every day on a close to close basis, or 5 times of the underlying in stock or index performance, daily performance on a close to close basis, all the way up to expiry. Okay, so don't worry too much about the expiry date. Whether you choose a 1 year expiry or 2 year expiry DLC, it will give you that 5 times performance on a close to close basis every day. Should I continue? You have one more question here. Last one, I think this is the last question. What's the minimum size for purchase? So this DLC, that's the beauty of it. I would like to just maybe stress a bit here. If you go and buy a Tencent stock right now, right, I think the minimum investment sum is about 8K Sing dollars, around there. So for someone who wants exposure to Tencent, but I don't want to put in $8,000 one lump sum just like that to get exposure to Tencent. And I'm only also having a short-term view of Tencent stock. I don't want to put in $8,000 and get my money stuck there, change the Hong Kong dollar some more, and then I put it inside there to buy the Tencent stock. Even though I have maybe a 1 week view of the Tencent, I'm going to correct in the next 1 week. Then you can use the Tencent DLCs, for example, right? Can I trouble you to just throw up the Tencent DLCs? So the Tencent DLCs are priced at around $1 or less. Okay, and that's why the minimum investment sum is 100 units, spot lot size of SGX, 100 units of this. So technically you can buy this DLC DTCW for as little as $30 times 100, right? 30 cents times 100 is $30. You can buy it for as little as $30. But then of course you should take into account your broker commission costs. So you might not want to put in just $30. But you can put it in increments of a few $100 or $1,000 or $2,000 versus putting in the full $8,000 into the underlying stock itself, right? You can put in $1,000, and then you use $1,000 to buy this Tencent DLC DTCW 5 times short. You are in fact getting exposure to $5,000 worth of Tencent DLC because of the 5 times leverage over there. But you're only putting in $1,000 capital, right? And that $1,000 capital is also your commissions and your exchange fees, etc., are charged based on this $1,000. So you are also having reducing your transaction costs as opposed to buying $8,000 worth outright, $5,000 worth outright in the Tencent stock itself. And this $1,000 you can also put it in increments. Say you have $3,000, you can put it increments of different days. You can average down or average up in increments of $1,000 into this Tencent short DLCs to gain exposure to Tencent. So I think that's what's the beauty of DLCs. You're using only a fraction of the cost to gain exposure to Tencent as opposed to buying the stock outright. And then it's traded in Singapore dollars, and it's you can use less capital for more exposure. And in a way, using less capital also reduces your transaction cost. All right. So sorry, might be a bit more salesy on that front. But I think that for me, that's why I believe that the DLCs are perfect for trading the Hong Kong stocks. Because it gives you the flexibility, it gives you the leverage, and also gives you the capital efficiency and the cost efficiency when you trade the DLCs versus trading the stock itself on Hong Kong Exchange. And it's listed here on SGX, right? You can just trade it. You have that sort of safety net of a regulated Singapore local exchange. You just it's really, but of course that's contingent on the fact that you are having a short-term view of the market of the stock. 1 week or a few days or 2 weeks. But if you want to buy and hold for 6 months or 1 year, then I would suggest that you go and buy the stock itself instead. All right.
Marcus, quick one, just a quick question. Okay,
Yeah.
Are the order types available the same as like the normal equities market?
Yes.
Like for market limits and all those? All right.
Yeah, so you can use the price matrix and you see, okay, I want to buy at this price. Then you can go in and set your limit order at that price. You know, when underlying stock goes to that level, your DLC should go to that level, and then you can, set your buy or sell orders there. Say you already have this DLC 10-cent short, you want to take profit when 10-cent hits 375 level, then you can set your limit order at about 0.295 or 0. That sum. Okay, sorry, this is the wrong direction because this is a long short DLC.
I think I opened a short one.
Yeah, just short DLC. So if let's say you 10-cent, you think that you'll drop to 360 level, 360 level, then you can set your take profit level at 36, for example, 36 cents. You can submit your limit order on this, same as stocks. Okay, I see one question which I really have to answer because it's very important. There is a KO event, yes. If the DLC price drops to 0, so this is in a case that if it goes in the direction that is against you. So you bought the long DLC, for example, and the 10-cent stock goes down 20% and the DLC goes to 0, right? But if 10-cent goes, if you bought if 10-cent instead, but on the short side, if you have bought the short DLC over here, this 10-cent short DLC, and the 10-cent stock price goes down 20%, your short DLC will gain by 100%, right? Times 5 of that, and there is no limit to that. If 10-cent goes up by 50%, times 5 of that is 250%. Your DLC will be up 250%. Okay, there is no KO on the upside of your direction, right? If you buy a short DLC and there is no, you buy a long DLC, there is no upside cap. Whereas if you buy a short DLC, right, there's also no cap per se. There's no cap because every day, the DLC goes, the 10-cent goes down by 10%, 10%, 10%. Every day, the short DLC will give you that 50% gain on a close-to-close basis as well. Okay, how does SocGen charge the admin fees? Yes, we have the overnight cost and fees that is inbuilt into the price of the product itself. So it is factored into this intrinsic close every night. So we'll publish this last intrinsic close over there on the screen, just next to the SocGen BNRs. You can see the last intrinsic close over there. We will publish this figure 0.329 on the website every day for you to see. And this intrinsic close will factor in the overnight costs and fees. Okay, so the cost is not charged to you separately. It is really factored into the price of the DLC itself. Okay, and the overnight cost, I think you can say is roughly in line with other leverage instruments out there. It will be ranged from around 10 to 15% per annum. That's why also you should not be holding these DLCs for a long time. Okay, 10 to 15% per annum can really erode your returns. That's why these DLCs are not meant to be held for a long term as well. I wish we can extend the S&P 500 DLCs to US trading hours, but that one is a SGX infrastructure. I don't think that we can, but definitely that is the dream. Then if that can be done, I can tell you that we'll be doing DLCs on the single stock DLCs as well. Already. It's single stock, US single stocks already as well. You have Apple DLCs and Tencent and Amazon DLCs for sure. But that's the dream. Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, Marcus. Anything for the rest?
I think that my concluding sort of statement is really just check out the DLC promotion that Phillip has launched. You can find it under the Poems promotion page. You can see that you can get $200 cash credit if you trade the DLCs. You just make any trade. I think it's 2 trades on the US DLCs and 5 trades on the normal DLCs. and then you can get some, and then you will be able to get the 200 US. You had $200 cash credit. It is a pretty attractive promotion. Please do check it out. But otherwise, the DLCs, I think it's a really a nice instrument for you to use if you are into short-term trading. You can save on, it's very efficient, especially if you are trading the Hong Kong stocks per se, or if you think that the Singapore stocks are a bit boring and you want to gear it up a bit, then you can use the 5 times DLCs to trade the Singapore stocks as well. DBS moves by 1%, your DLC moves by 5%, right? You can make it a bit more exciting with the DLCs. So it is a very interesting product that we have really launched on SGX for 5 years now, and it's going strong. So we do hope to expand the shelf further, launch US underlyings, maybe in the future, more stock underlyings for you to choose from as well. So if you find that, there's some stocks inside there that don't have a particular, then they don't have the DLCs on it, please feel free to drop us a note or, give us a call on our hotline over there to just let us know your feedback. And also any questions that you might have. This is a short session, so we can't answer everything, but if you have any other questions, please just drop us a line. My team and I are ready on standby during SGX market hours to answer the hotline calls, to answer any other questions that you might have. All right. Otherwise, also you can reach out to Ying Jie.
Marcus. All right, Marcus, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time to share with us the beauty of DLC. Really hope to speak to you again soon. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, then with that, thank you everyone for attending this afternoon session. Okay, hope you had your lunch already or go and get your lunch. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, Marcus, as well. Really appreciate it. Yep.
Thanks,
with
Ying
that, I think
thanks,
we will
Phillip.
end off this webinar. Okay, thank you. Stay safe,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Right, have a good day. Bye-bye.